What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we have a bodybuilding news video for you guys, and it includes Breon Ansley versus Chris Bumstead. New updates from both of these guys, new British Grand Prix dates, times, and all that good stuff. Samson Dauda 2 days out of that British Grand Prix, and is Kamal Elgargni at his best ever, and can he be beaten in that 212 Olympia? So we've got all that, so let's get straight into it. And we're going to start with the British Grand Prix. So this news came out just the other day, and I've been waiting to sort of report on it because we didn't have the dates and times and everything locked in 100%. They did say they're going to try to do it on Wednesday because of the whole lockdown situation in England and what's going on right now, because I believe the show is actually going to be in Liverpool. Not 100% sure on that, but here is the actual show schedule. So it's got all the amateurs that this includes, but we're going to be focused on the pros. They did say on that actual Tuesday, which is today my time, it'll be probably Monday night your guys' time in America and Canada and all that sort of stuff. It's going to actually have an athletes press conference, which they actually did last year, where there was a little bit of smack talk and whatnot, which was actually pretty cool and a little bit, I suppose, fun to report on at least. So we'll have reporting on that if they release that online before the show as well. And basically with the pros, this is a bit we're focused on. So we've got it starting at 12:15, the British Grand Prix, and it goes to 5 p.m. So that's across all the division that they're going to have. I haven't seen anything about prejudging or anything like that, so I assume it's going to be an all one show format, which is very different, obviously, but because of the circumstance, I'm sure the IFBB Pro League are allowing this. So it starts at 12:15 with the women's physique. 1 p.m. we've got men's classic physique. So I assume that with the women's physique, the whole class, the judging and the awards all have to be done in 45 minutes, which is crazy. But because of obviously restrictions with travel, that might cut down the competitors quite a bit. So it might be a bit smaller show than what we used to. We actually haven't even got a competitors list yet, and the show's tomorrow. So I'm assuming that will come out very soon, and my preview for the British Grand Prix will be up very, very soon as well once that competitors list drops. And if it doesn't drop, then I'll just do a preview anyway with the competitors that we know are competing. So 1 p.m, the Classic Physique Pro, and then 2 p.m, we've got the 212s. And so the Classic Physique have 1 hour, 212s only have 45 minutes because the women's bikini starts at 2:45. And that one must be stacked because they're getting an hour and 15 minutes, and obviously no posing routines for the women's bikini as well. And then at 4 p.m, the British Grand Prix, Two Bros Pro, trained by JP, IFBB Pro League, Olympia qualified 2021 men's open bodybuilding. So this one is not a qualifier for this year's Olympia, for those guys that are wondering out there. It's a qualifier for next year's Olympia, because the reason why they do this is because if the point standing system was still going to now, there'd be guys prepping for the Olympia and they might get kicked out of the points, last minute sort of thing. So I think that's a wise idea, and congratulations to the Two Bros Pro people that put on this event, because this is tough. They've got this push forward days, which makes it very, very tough, the webcast and all that sort of stuff. And if you do want to purchase the webcast, I believe it's £20, which whatever that converts to, or €20, as a pre-sale sort of thing. And then on the day, I think it's £25, which I'm not sure what that converts to in US dollars, but I know it's somewhat similar. So I'll definitely be purchasing that and watching it and reporting on the whole show. So make sure you do subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any coverage of the show not this weekend, midweek, literally, which is pretty random for one of these bodybuilding contests. You only normally used to see that back in the days of when they used to do those European tours. That was many, many years ago when they used to do those and have shows midweek. But let's move on to the next topic. So Samson Dauda, he's doing that show, and 2 days out, looking absolutely phenomenal. And I thought when I saw this photo, he looks full, he looks hard, and that's normally a combination that Samson sort of battles with a little bit. And when I compared it to a photo from a week ago, he clearly looks fuller in this photo on the right. So I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below if you think Samson is fuller in that second photo and looks better in general. And then you got this side chest photo where he just looks absolutely enormous and bursting full, which is something I'm not used to seeing from Samson. So if he can bring that fullness with the conditioning, Samson could potentially win this show. That's how good Samson is. But he's going to be going against the likes of Regan Grimes, who finished one place ahead of him over at that other show. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. I keep wanting to say Romania, but it wasn't that one, obviously. It was Alicante, Spain. That's the one it was. And then you've got James Hollingshead, who actually won that show. So it's going to be hard for Samson to jump those two guys. Can he jump one of them? Can he jump both of them? He can. and get that qualification for the 2021 Olympia, but it is definitely going to be hard considering those guys both placed ahead of him at the last show. But this might be a different Samson because he is looking insanely full. I've got to message him and find out what he's been doing between these last two shows. Another casualty, I guess, of this whole lockout that's happening to the UK is Essa Obaid. Now, this guy was coming over. He prepped for 4 months, as he says in this post, to do this show alone, and he has been locked out. So I don't know if he's able to get across to Romania, because he's actually in Dubai. He lives there. So I don't know if he's able to get to Romania, because I know a lot of Europe are locking down, but hopefully he's able to get over there, because 4 months of prep for absolutely nothing is absolutely brutal. So best of luck to Essa. Now, another story, Milos Sarcev, who's a trainer, was known as the trainer of the pros back when he owned that Coliseum gym in Fullerton, California. And he trained, everyone went to that gym. You had Ronnie Coleman go to that gym. You had all the big names. Dennis James was a regular there. A whole bunch of guys that he used to train, and he used to do his giant sets and absolutely murder people out of that. And I remember seeing videos back on bodybuilding.com back in the day, and they had the speedometer and all that sort of stuff. It was really cool. Now, one of those guys that was training there many, many years ago, back in 2005, so 15 years ago, was Hidetada Yamagishi, who was competing as an open pro. He made his pro debut. He did the Ironman. I believe that was his pro debut. Don't hold me to that. But he looked phenomenal working under Milos, and he really brought Hide onto the scene. And it's cool they're working again together 15 years later, and Milos really talks up Hide and says he's the hardest trainer basically he's ever worked with, which is a massive compliment, because a lot of these guys obviously absolutely train their ass off, especially when they're training with Milos too. So that's a massive compliment. So he's going to be doing the 212 Olympia, and this was a recent video courtesy of JTV as well, where Milos is absolutely putting him through a brutal shoulder workout, which I'm sure was absolutely insane. So I'm glad to, I just wanted to make a point of that, because I'm glad to see these two working together, because they're not only, client and trainer, they're actually friends as well, which is cool. And Hide obviously is, I believe, partners with Iris Cole, who's making a comeback to the women's Olympia, where she's going to go for another, I suppose, Olympia title. And I'm not sure if she'll be able to get it. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. Now, another story, Kamal Elgargni, your 2019 212 Olympia champ. Now, Chris the Technician Aceto posted this up. It's 7 weeks out for Kamal. He is looking insanely full. He's looking hard as well, but he looks like he's actually filled out from his earlier photos and gotten bigger. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but this is the biggest I've ever seen Kamal in any photo updates or anything. He's looking absolutely insane. And I was big on Derek Lunsford, picking him to win the 212 Olympia in my early predictions, just from what I said on the podcast and whatnot as well. But I'm sort of starting to second guess myself, and I love Derek, and I've got an interview about to drop with Derek hours after this video goes up. And I think Derek can win it, no doubt. And I think he's going to have the better silhouette. He's going to probably have the better legs from the front at least anyway, because Kamal's only real downfall is that outer sweep on his quads. Apart from that, he is very, very complete and looks phenomenal. And Kamal isn't a young dude either, so he's definitely trying to take advantage and win as many 212 Olympia titles as he can before his career's done. So congrats to Kamal for improving on an Olympia winning physique. So I can't wait to see what he looks like at the Olympia, and will his quads be his downfall? But if Derek had those crazy big quads, which they have improved, I think, and his sweep is much more impressive than Kamal's, he could easily wipe out Kamal, I believe, just based on shape and just, if he can bring that conditioning in. But Kamal is looking next level. In our last story, Breon Ansley versus Chris Bumstead. It's been a theme on this channel. I had Breon Ansley on recently. I'd love to have Chris Bumstead on. So if Chris Bumstead sees this, or anyone who's related to Chris Bumstead, like Ian Valiera, I'd also love to have him on leading up to this Olympia as well. I had him on a long time ago, but there's a copyright issue with his video, and I had to unfortunately take that interview down after a few days. But a few of you guys obviously would have seen that, because it's got a few thousand hits. But Chris Bumstead released this side chest, and when Chris Bumstead releases a shot like this, people are going to talk about it, and he's looking really good. And I heard a recent interview on Fuad Abiad's channel, which is a great interview. I highly suggest you go and check that one out with Chris Bumstead, because first of all, he doesn't do a lot of interviews for starters, and I'd love to be one of those ones who can interview him. But it's really cool. You got an insight on Chris Bumstead's mindset, and he's really prepping last year, worried about his flare-up from his autoimmune disease. And, that's something that could happen. Like he said, the most likely time for it to happen is in a prep when your body's stressed out and everything. So I'm praying it doesn't happen for Chris Bumstead's sake, and for the sake of bodybuilding fans as well, because we all want to see him on stage battling Breon Ansley, because it's really built into a really cool rivalry that, the top two guys going at it. Breon's wanting to win back his title and get his third, and Chris is trying to get his second and tie Breon Ansley with two classic physique Olympia titles. And let me know what you think, because This is Breon Ansley here. He released this, I think it was 1 or 2 days ago. He is looking phenomenal. Now, if it was purely a bodybuilding contest coming into this, I would say Breon will win. But it's classic physique, so I look for something a little more different in terms of the shape and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know who's going to win. Now, if I'm a betting man, I'd probably say Chris Bumstead based on I think Chris is going to bring his best, as I think Breon's going to bring his best as well. And Chris only did win by 1 point last year. But being the Olympia champ, sometimes you have to knock him off. It wasn't the case last year because Breon did bring his best and still lost. But I would probably lean towards Chris based on the fact of what Breon bought last year. I thought was phenomenal. But I think based on this video he just released, his arms are looking crazy. His condition is about on point for where he needs to be right now. But the same as Chris Bumstead as well. So let me know what you think in the comments. Can Breon Ansley with this impressive physique update beat Chris Bumstead? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's it for another video. If you guys want to support this channel, because we've got a ton of Olympia content coming up, including the next video being an interview with Derek Lunsford, head to hostile.com, HOSSTILE.com, enter ZAVE10, XAV10. You'll save yourself 10% on some amazing supplements. And also we've got some sick apparel too. I'm wearing the cap here, which actually matches the Hostile t-shirt. It's got the gold and sort of it's a grey colour for the massive H there, but it looks amazing. The quality of the material is next level. Make sure you head there and grab a bit of apparel when you're grabbing your supplements as well. And that's it for another video. If you guys also don't want to miss out on any of that stuff, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any of the Olympia content I have coming up. Also, give me a thumbs up, smash that like button if you did like this video. So that's it from myself, Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.